from America's heartland. It's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 152, the 2023 Kansas City Open October Points Tournament. 5 players have advanced to the TV finals, and one of them will emerge as the champion in Division III today. Let's meet them. Qualifying 5th is Hannah Hill of Lee Summit, Missouri. She'll face the number 4 qualifier, Dylan Pollard, the Dill Pickle, also from Lee Summit. The winner of that match will face the 3 seed, Logan Crosswhite of Bonner Springs, Kansas. That winner will advance to face the 2 seed, Colton Boob of Olathe, Kansas, a 3-time KCO winner last season. And that winner will face Nick Robbins for the title. He's our tournament leader from Windsor, Missouri. And that's our field today. One of these 5 young athletes will claim the winner's share of the scholarship prize fund today in Division III and will sign the coveted trophy pin on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We've come north of the Missouri River today to Gladstone, Missouri, and Gladstone Bowl, home of the biggest and best youth bowling program on the north side of the Kansas City metro area, thanks to the tireless work of Jamie Hayes, who has added general manager to her list of duties at Gladstone Bowl, in addition to being the center's youth coordinator. As most Prodigy viewers know by now, the Kansas City Open has 5 divisions, and today we're focusing on Division III, the kids with entering averages from 160 to 179. They'll bowl with handicap. That's 90% of the difference between their entering average and the top of the division, or 179. Everyone at the KCO bowls a morning block and an afternoon block of qualifying games. And here's how the Division III qualifying shook out. As you can see, Colton Boob got off to a fast start with a 668 scratch series for a 707 net handicap total. Nick Robbins was close behind, and Logan Crosswhite was just a pin behind him. The Keeler twins, Anna, who was on our April Division IV show from Leavenworth, and her sister Hadley were both inside the cut line. But in the afternoon block of games, the Keeler girls fell back, while Hannah Hill moved up to qualify in the 5th position, while Dylan Pollard finished his final game of qualifying with a flurry of strikes to grab the 4th spot. So with that brief recap of how we got here out of the way, let's light the fuse and get this party started. In our first match, it's a battle of Lee Summit, Missouri, as both Hannah Hill, the 5 seed, and Dylan Pollard, the 4 seed, hail from that southeastern suburb of Kansas City. Hannah is making her first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, while Dylan is back for the 2nd time. You met him last year in Lawrence, Kansas. He finished 5th that day in Lawrence, and then a few months later in May, he was our tournament leader in Division II, bowling in the periphery off to our right, and he ended up taking first prize that day. And Dylan starts out with a wall shot for a strike to begin. And now we get our first look at Hannah Hill. Hannah turns 18 later this month in October, and she had a first place finish in Division IV last February in Leavenworth. And as you can see, she is the rarest of rare breeds, a girl who bowls two-handed. We don't see it all that often, but seeing it a little more and more. And she's figured it out. Playing deep inside on the lane, standing way to the left and throwing it over the 4th arrow. Look where she's standing. Only takes about an 11-foot approach. 4 steps. 4th arrow out to about 5. That one didn't quite make it back, kind of flattened out at the end. using a really strong ball. And a spare ball to go right at her spares. And she covers the 10 pin easily. Now, as you can see, Hannah's getting 8 pins of handicap. Dylan, because his average is bumping up against the top end of Division 3, he's getting no pins. We've added Hannah's 8 pins into her score right there in the first frame, so you don't have to keep track of it from here on out. Oh my goodness. What a bad break. That was just a little bit high. A fast 8 action, but the fast 8 with company. He leaves the 4-7-9. Here's how you make it. Put the ball over on the left edge of the 4 pin. The ball will get the 7. The 4 will slide over and get the 9. But he's a little too full on the 4 pin, so that's an open frame. And Dylan hands the early advantage to Hannah. Well, Dylan, 13 years old. He's won both a Kansas City Open and an HOA, the HOA Heart of America Junior Classic, another tournament organization that holds tournaments about every other month in the Kansas City area. He's active in both. And another light shaker goes for Dylan. So he bounces back off of that open frame. And it's worth a second look. As you can see, he takes the full approach. Throwing over about 19 at the arrows, out to about 6. And scatters them. All right, Hannah. Look at her playing deep inside and just snapping out the 10 pin. Well, Hannah's only been bowling since she was 15, so she hadn't been bowling very long. Look at this. Ball right under her head. We talk about this every time on Prodigy. This is the ideal position. She's in perfect balance at the foul line, and look how low she gets. There's a lot to like about Hannah's game. Wow. That is big time there. Take another look. She keeps that arm close to her side. Swings it out to about 6, and man, she just planted that one in the pocket. And Dylan finds the pocket as well and plows him over. This young fellow's only been bowling about 2 years. He started when he was 11. Has a 778 series to his credit. How do you like that? Playing a little straighter line than Hannah. He generates a little more ball speed than Hannah. Hannah takes that super short approach, but Dylan's heels are almost hanging off the edge of the approach. That time it doesn't quite make it back, and he leaves the 2-5. Now you see the action to our left on lanes 19 and 20. That's Division 4. And the action to our right on 23 and 24, that's Division 5. We'll recap how their stepladders go at the end of the show. Oh, Dylan chops the 2 off the 5. He played that from the right side of the lane. I like to see him play the 2-5 combinations down the left side of the lane to reduce the angle for a chop. watch the pros, most of them will play the 2-5 down the left side of the lane. All right, Hannah, she plays everything from the left side of the lane. Oh! You know, as slow as she throws it, and as far to the right as she throws it, I'm surprised that that didn't carry the 5. She gets enough entry angle, but, well, like the old saying goes, no drive, no 5, and she's left with the easiest single pin spare there is. Just throw your strike ball at this. I wouldn't imagine she'd have any problem at all with this spare. Down it goes. When you watch Hannah, pay particular attention to how low she gets at the foul line. Now, normally I would like to see a little more knee bend and the spine angle not quite tipped so far forward. But as long as she ends up in perfect balance like she does, this is great.
Jamie, your order's ready.
Little hop that time. That could have been a approach issue, but in any case, she gets 9 out of it, leaves the 3. And she takes care of it. Well, Dylan, I think you've got your hands full, buddy. Dylan, who first told us back in January that his nickname was Dill Pickle, he has another nickname. He has a YouTube channel called The Bowling Bro. You can check him out. Wow, he rips the 5 that time. Now he could really use another couple of those. Watch it again. Drifts a little bit to the left, that's normal. A little hop at the foul line, that's not so normal. But he loves the result. You see the modern power player, if they're right-handed, drifting a little left. And once again, that ball doesn't quite get up. And he's left with another 2-5 combination, this time the 2-4-5. Now, he played this down the right side of the lane the last time and chopped the 2 off the 5. He's playing it down the right side of the lane once again. Oh, my goodness. And even the spare ball hooks almost completely past the whole cluster. So another open frame, and now Hannah has opened up a 44-pin lead. Dylan was so excited when he made the stepladder finals. He didn't think he was gonna, but he finished with a flurry of strikes to get into the stepladder. And look at Hannah mix them up. Tell you what, she's showing me something here. Watch this. Way over at the left side of the approach, she slides on about 37. Not much lane left over there. And she gets just enough of the 5-pin to get it to move. Very impressive. Got around that one a little bit. Maybe just a little bit too much. Sometimes when you get your hand a little too far on the side, it kind of makes the ball scoot a little farther down the lane, and you may not get into a roll quite early enough to snap out the corner pin. Stay behind the ball, and you'll get that pin to go. I thought that one was gone. But it hangs on, and she is clean through 8 frames. I tell you what, in tournament competition, head-to-head matches, if you can just stay clean, a lot of the time, that's enough. Now, obviously, we see matches occasionally that require a lot of strikes to keep up, but look at this. She's clean and in command. And Dylan rips through the head pin this time and leaves himself another tricky cluster, the 3-6-10. Another one you want to stand over at the left side of the lane to shoot to reduce the chop angle. He nearly picked it, but it's a spare. Well, the situation is this. Dylan can strike out for 192. Hannah would only need good count in the 9th and 10th, and she could close it out. But that strike keeps Dylan in it, mathematically. Now, if Hannah were to possibly short count in either the 9th or 10th and open, Dylan's still got a chance. He gave that one everything he had. Mark would just about put it away. Okay. Cuts through the nose. Could have been worse. She gets 9. Leaves the 6. All of her non-strikes have been 9 counts. You leave yourself easy spares like that, you're going to make most of them. And she makes another one. And now she's set herself up in position where she can put this match in the win column. She needs just 4 pins on this ball, and then she can take a victory lap. How about that one? Very impressive. Watch this. She came right up through that one. She thought it was going to go high, but it didn't. That was probably the best ball she's thrown this match. She loved that one. Didn't need it, but loved it. That's going to put her in the 220s. See how low she is at the release point? Love the wall shot. Oh, she fouled. She fouled. So it's going to be a 215, which is more than enough. Well, at least the foul didn't cost her anything. We've seen it where it did on Prodigy before. Crossover strike for Dylan. I remember we did an event in Georgia a few years ago where big Logan Mathis fouled at the end, and it cost him the match. He was not a happy camper. And I remember the time we saw Nolan Kemp in Georgia get the front 10 And then he throws a strike on the 11th ball, but he fouled. Oops. Well, we've talked about it before. When the pressure is off, the strikes seem to come a whole lot easier. I know Dylan's disappointed, but he bowled really well to get here. And I think when he reflects on this day, he might find that he just got a little too excited after he struck out in the final game of qualifying. He got so amped over the fact that he had made the stepladder finals. He may have just spent a little too much energy over just being excited about getting there. You got to stay a little more even keel, measured, and he'll learn. Congratulations all around, but it is Hannah Hill who's moving on to match 2. She will face Logan Crosswhite when we return. Try as he might to string enough strikes to get back into the match, Dylan Pollard just couldn't find the winning combination until it was too late. And well, that last match could be summed up with just one simple observation. Dylan had 3 open frames, while Hannah had none. Even with that split he left in the second frame, those other 2 opens in the 5th and 7th, where he chopped the 2-5 and then chopped the 2-4-5, if he covers those 2 spares, we're having a whole different conversation here. He might want to take a closer look at how he shoots those 2-5 combinations cross lane. I'd rather see him go straight at him from the left side of the lane. But with that clean game, Hannah Hill has earned her way past the Battle of Lee Summit and into match 2 of our stepladder finals today, where she'll now face our 3-seed Logan Crosswhite of Bonner Springs, Kansas. Logan started bowling at the age of 4 and says he wants to be a chef someday. You can bet that right now he's thinking about nothing more than finding the recipe for sweet victory. Well, I can tell him right now, you throw 11 more just like that one, and you will probably find sweet victory. Logan Crosswhite with a solid strike to begin. All right, Hannah Hill starting on the right lane this game. Ooh, goes through the nose and breaks up the split. Had the 6-7-10 there for a moment. Now just the 6-10. Very makeable. Covers it. Hannah with a clean game last game. She'd love to keep that going. Just 3 pins handicap differential this game. Logan's getting 11 pins, Hannah's getting 8. Well, she made a slight adjustment that time. Keep the ball off the nose and maybe missed her target, perhaps? In any case, the ball sailed on her and she's left with the 1-2. And once again, as you can see, we've added her 8 pins of handicap into her score right there, so you don't have to keep track of it. She makes short work of the 1-2 spare. So Logan Crosswhite will try his luck on the right-hand lane. Oh my. Well, it looked like he got that one out to the right into the dry a little quickly. He might have missed his target at the arrows. We're bowling on the house shot, as is customary at the KCO. You get it out into the dry a little quickly and it'll start hooking early. And that's what happened. The 4-7-10. It's a beautiful thing when it's made. He'd love to make it right here. Oh, he gave it a ride. Didn't miss by much. Now, once again, we've added Logan's 11 pins of handicap into his score. A strike and then 9 out in the second frame would give him 19 in the first. You add his 11 to that, that gives him 30, and then 39 in the second. Oh my goodness. Well, that did not look like a bad shot off his hand, but it just never got into a roll on the back end, and it just skidded through the pins and deflected. And the 8-10, something you don't see all that often with the modern bowling ball. Back-to-back splits for Logan. Tough break. Hannah with an 18-pin lead. And she'd like to keep things going the way she had them in the first match, closing all her frames. And that's one way to do it. Throw solid strikes. Look at how low she gets at the foul line. And then she maintains it. Had a little hop that time. She might have been just a little bit off balance, but usually she's in good balance at the foul line. Gotta love that. Oh! Getting the breaks. That one creeped a little bit high. The 2-pin trips the 4. Here's her footwork. Little drift to the left, a 4-step approach. She played inside the 4th arrow that time, only out to about 10. And there's the 2-pin just nudging out the 4. The lead is now 28. Oh my goodness gracious. Here's one you really don't see all that often, the 3-7-10. Sometimes called the Christmas tree. But there's nothing particularly festive about this. Put the ball between the 3 and the 10. The ball will deflect off the 3 into the 10, and hopefully you'll throw the 3 over into the 7. That's the plan anyway. But Logan is wide with the shot, and that's 3 splits and 3 open frames in succession. And Logan is digging himself a hole early in this match. And obviously, that's not how he got here in the 3 spot. All right. Well, at least it's not a split. 2-4-5. We saw Dylan Pollard miss this from the right side of the lane. Let's see if Logan plays it down the left side. He's going to play it down the right side as well. But he crosses over to the left side of the 2-pin, and that'll work. So he stops the bleeding, at least. And now he's going to hope for Hannah to trip up here. But she hasn't done so yet in the stepladder finals. Another good pocket hit. I would call that a nice commercial shot. Didn't strike, but she keeps it in play. Leaves another easy spare, the 10-pin. Oh, she hooked by. So a chink in the armor. And Hannah's first open frame of the championship round. But she still has a 27-pin lead halfway through match 2. And another trip 4. Nice. Watch it again. The 2-pin, that's the 3rd one from the left. Will go to the left wall and slip between the 4 and 7. Gets them both. And yeah, she gives herself a hand, and well deserved. Oh my goodness. When it rains, it pours. Logan, that was only a little bit too high. The 4-9. Tell you what, just about the same hit. Hannah was tripping the 4-pin, but Logan, not so much. Leaves the 4-9. Oh, how about that? Nice shot. And that keeps him in the match. Watch this. He nearly made the 410 a little while ago, so he just had to make a slight adjustment off that shot. But then you got to execute, and he did. That's beautiful. But now he needs strikes, and he misses the head pin completely with that shot and leaves the 1, 2, 4, 8. This is no bargain. Here's how you make it. Put the ball on the 1 and the 2. That will do the trick. Just like that. So back-to-back impressive spares, but Logan needs some strikes to catch Hannah, because I'd be surprised if she started reeling off open frames the way she's been bowling today. Well, I tell you what, though, she broke up the 4-9. She's going to need to move left. She's flirting with the nose here. Watch this. 4, 7, 9 are the last ones to go. But they went. And the lead is back to 43 pins with just 3 frames left. Well, she did make a move that time. And she's reached kind of a point of no return now. She's playing so deep on the lane. She's going to have a hard time getting that ball to come back. That is a very aggressive bowling ball. And just barely got back to cover the 2-pin. There comes a point when you've moved in so far that you probably need to think about another ball that'll get down the lane a little farther and give you a little more angularity on the back end. That 7-pin better go. He's had enough splits already, thank you very much. The 3-6. Logan, 14 years old. He's been bowling since he was 4. 267 is his high game. Oh no. Runs past the 3-pin and the wheels are coming off. I hate to see that. Well, Logan says that he got started bowling because of his family. They were bowlers and invited him to go bowl one day, and he liked it. And he says his best moment in bowling so far, bowling his first 200 game. I remember the first time I bowled a 200. That was a pretty big deal to me, too. I get it. There's a spare. But I think Logan sees the writing on the wall, or up on the scoreboard anyway. Hannah can put this one away. She needs 3 pins on this ball to shut out Logan and move on to match 3. And that'll do it. She makes the right adjustment that time. And she looks very solid. She's able to play that deep inside angle, float that ball out to the right, let it find friction, and just come trucking back. And it's been very effective for her. Oh, and she rips the rack. Wow. She actually looked to me like she missed her target. Watch this. She won't throw this one as wide. This is almost over the 5th arrow. Only gets out to about 11. Hits in the half pocket, and that 5-pin just shot over to the 7th. And that one she just sent a little too wide. Just a bit outside. But it's all academic now. She's got this match put away. And she's going to be bowling our number 2 qualifier, Colton Boob, in the next match. And that is a 219 for Hannah Hill. All right, Logan, let's see a strong finish. Oh, my. Well, you've left just about every other split there is to leave. You might as well show us a trick shot here, the 6-7-10. Here's how to make it. You made the 4-9 a little while ago. You can do this. Well, I tell you what, he's not afraid to go at him. But it's a 143, and that's not going to get it done. So Logan Crosswhite finishes 4th today. It's going to be Hannah Hill versus Colton Boob in match 3 next. Well, you almost had to feel for Logan Crosswhite in that match. 5 splits may be some sort of prodigy record for one game. A record I'm sure he'd rather not own. And 5 open frames, well, that's just not a recipe for success. He knows that. But all Logan can do now is chalk it up as a learning experience and come back stronger the next time. It's all part of the learning process. But meanwhile, Hannah Hill is putting on a clinic for staying out of trouble. She did finally show that she's human by having an open frame that last game, but that's still 19 clean frames out of 20, and if she keeps that up, she's going to be a tough out. But now Hannah advances to match 3, where she'll face the young man with the funny last name. But don't be deceived. Colton Boob has a game that's no joke. This youngster matched PBAA Player of the Year Nolan Nash with 3 wins at the KCO last season. And here he is in just the 2nd tournament of the new season, picking right back up where he left off last season, in contention again. This game could produce some high drama. Colton, being the higher finisher, has elected to lead off. Crossing over, gets a strike to start. Those count 2. As you can see, he's getting 5 more pins in handicap than Hannah. Hannah has been a load so far today. She just doesn't miss very often. That time the ball labored a bit to get back. And she's left with the 2-4-5. We've seen this a couple of times already today. One player made it, one player missed it. Here's the ideal way to convert it. Put that ball on the 2 and 5. She goes with her strike ball, so she'll be hooking at it. And she covers it. Hard to believe, but Hannah's high series is just 614. She has a 268 to her credit, but has only managed a 614 for a high series, and I gotta believe she's gonna be beating that pretty soon. She's got way too much game for that to be her high series. Oh, man, what a good break that was. That ball didn't quite make it back. It deflected, and it looked like she was going to leave herself the 4-5, but the wall shot saved the day. Watch this. Watch the head pin go to the left wall, and it just got the 4 and knocked it into the 5. Well, another crossover for Colton. This time he doesn't get the strike, leaves the 6 pin. This young man turns 13 in November. He shares a birthday with another Prodigy star, the winningest player ever on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, Hunter Moffett. The two of them both have a birthday at the end of November. Colton's only been bowling a couple of years, but he has taken to it like a duck to water. Get a load of this. He finished first at the March KCO. He finished first at the April KCO. And he finished first at the June KCO Invitational. So he finished last season on a streak. 3 firsts in the last 4 months of the season. Not bad. And oh, by the way, he finished 5th in May, too. Well, this time the wall shot just didn't quite get it done. The 4 pin slid out in front of the 5, so she leaves herself an easy spare. Can't even conceive of her having any problem converting the 5 pin as all hands go up in the gallery. And down it goes. Well, Hannah, another one who says that she started bowling because her parents always bowled when she was growing up. That's a pretty common theme among these young people. She wants to be a mechanical engineer when she grows up. How about that? As she pulled that one way left of her target. And it went through the nose. She's left a tricky spare here. The 3-9. She's going with her spare ball to shoot a little straighter at it. I'd rather see him hook at this. But she covers it easily. When you go straight at double wood, you've really got to hit it right on the face. Whereas if you throw it with some hook, like you would with your strike ball, you've got the whole right side of the front pin you can hit and still carry out the back one. Look at Colton Boob rip the rack as everything goes left over to the 7 pin. And that 7 pin had no chance. Watch this one again. That ball is right under his head like we like to see. Pretty close to his ankle. stays down through the shot, this will be in the half pocket, and that 5 and everything else moved right over to the 7. The shredder. Well, that one hooked a little early, but he got away with it. And now he's opened up a 16-pin lead. Oh my goodness. Well, Hannah sent that one a little extra wide, and I think it just found a little too much friction, a little too soon, and it hooked high and just chopped the 5 right off the 9. The stone 9, as they say. Easy peasy. She is a good spare shooter, man. That is a great trait to have. Tell you what, I don't know if her plans are to bowl in college, but some college should snatch her up. She is going to be an asset to some collegiate bowling team if she chooses that route. Well, that time the ball didn't quite make it back, and this may be what I was talking about earlier. She's got a really strong ball in her hand, and she has had to move so far to the left that it may just be spending its energy a little too soon on the lane. Look out. Well, that's trouble. Yeah, when you're playing that far deep on the lane, you need a ball at some point when the lanes just get so chewed up that it'll scoot down lane a little farther and still give you a little more angularity on the back end. Holton's ball hooking a little early as well. He either needs to move left or go to a weaker piece of equipment like I'm talking about for Hannah. They talk about ball shape. You know, a lot of players like to see the banana-shaped ball motion. But sometimes it's useful to have something in your arsenal that'll give you more of the hockey stick shape. It'll go down farther and then make a sharp left turn. And when you have to play deep, deep inside, sometimes that can be very useful. But I don't know what these kids have in their arsenal, what options they have available. But it's always a good idea to have those options in your bag. Boom! Maybe that's what I should call him. Colton Boom. Here's his footwork, 5-step approach. Little drift to the left. He's a planter over the 5th arrow. And I don't love the fact that he falls off balance to the right like he did on that shot. But that could be caused by just getting his trail leg up in the air. If you keep it on the floor, he might stay in better balance. Oh! And that time Hannah just tilted out the 5-pin. So that's where you can tell. Earlier today, she would have been ripping that 5-pin, but here it just tilts out, barely. See, that ball gets out to about 11, and it deflects, but still has just enough to tilt out the 5, and boy, she'll take that one. She could use another one right here to cut Colton's lead down to 17. She gave that one a little extra at the bottom, and it just didn't turn over. Now, this is what happens when you have to move that far deep on the lane. You've got to have something that'll store energy for down lane. That's how you play that spare down the left side of the lane. Good shot. Colton Boob. Very competitive youngster. His mom says he plays all kinds of sports. He plays golf, loves to go fishing, plays baseball. He's a pitcher and a catcher in baseball. His dad works in sports television, and Colton has had occasion to help out. Oh man, he gave that a little extra loft. I thought it was going to go dead left, but it held in the oil. And that's another strike, and well, Colton's just running away with this thing now. 47-pin lead. Hannah with her back to the wall now. She can still shoot 213. Let's see, that's that shot again from so deep inside. If you don't have enough entry angle, you're just not going to carry that swisher. The 5 just kind of doesn't want to get over there to the 7. I think it's just a ball choice for her. Like I said, I don't know what her options are, but that's a great bowling ball she's throwing. It's just not made for this particular condition. But she covers the spare. Problem now is she can strike out in the 10th for 202. Colton is sitting at 200 right now if he doesn't throw another shot. So it looks like Hannah's run is going to come to an end here. She's bowled awfully well. There you go. Plant that ball that deep in the pocket. Those pins have no other option but to run and hide. 4-step approach. Short little slide. And man, that ball was high flush. And with that non-strike, this match goes in the win column for Colton Boob. Not that there was much doubt about that for the last couple of frames. Well, she runs by the 10, but that's just a fill ball. All in all, Hannah bowled great today. Just 2 open frames in 3 matches. And a 191 is a respectable showing. But it's going to be Colton Boob who's moving on to the championship match. And he keeps his string going. Watch this. He's going to come straight up the back of the ball. That's how it's done. That's how you get that ball to penetrate through the pins. Now he got that one way out wide. It found the dry on the lane early. But he's going to be in the 240s. The 3-9-10. I'm going to put the ball on the right side of the 3 with some hook so that it can drive through and get the 9 and the 10. Well, a little too full on the 3 pin, so it's 9 out and a 246 game. That's nothing to sneeze at. Colton Boob finds himself back where he is very comfortable in the championship match. He'll be bowling Nick Robbins when we return. You know, usually in these game recaps, I find myself pointing to a missed spare or two as the culprit that led to a loss. But in this case, Hannah Hill really didn't make many mistakes in terms of execution. Her mistake was one of ball choice. While the ball she was using served her well throughout the day and for the first 2 matches of the stepladder, she really needed something a little weaker at the end that would scoot down lane and store some energy for the back end. But Hannah had a fantastic run today, and a 3rd place finish is nothing to hang your head about. She's a very impressive bowler, and we might just see her again. But Colton Boob just got stronger and stronger as the match went on, and when you throw a little 246 at your opponent, you have every reason to expect to win. So it's Colton Boob who's back in a familiar position, the championship match. This time he's facing tournament leader Nick Robbins, the reigning Missouri State U18 Boys Pepsi champion. Nick is making his 2nd appearance on Prodigy, having made the stepladder at the 2023 KCO Invitational. Nick turns 18 next month in November. He's going to school to become a welder. Holds out hope that maybe he could squeeze out a career as a pro bowler, but he's hedging his bets. Bit of a bad break that time. That looked like a pretty good shot. Could have ripped the rack, but the 5-pin got paralyzed, and so he's left with the 7. He goes straight at it, covers it easily. As you can see, Nick, with his average at the top of Division III, he is getting 0 pins handicap. He'll be spotting Colton 13 pins. Well, he gave that the big loft. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it delayed the hook. Ball finished a little behind the head pin, leaves the 2. Simple spare. Throws a spare ball at it. That's a plastic ball, won't hook much. Well, I mentioned earlier that Colton likes to fish. He says he has caught a 13-pound catfish. I'm not a fisherman, so I'm assuming that is quite large. Boom. Colton Boom. Watch this one. He planted this one right where you want it. Gave it a little extra at the bottom that time. Here it comes. Kicking out the 10 pin. All right, Nick. Oh, man. Get the license number. He just threw a truck down there. Watch this. Man, he sent that one way out. But he generates enough ball speed, he can get away with sending it out there to the dry. Here it comes. And they just explode at the end of the lane. Now he would love to get another one right here and cut Colton's lead down to just 3 early in the match. But it doesn't quite get back. And he leaves the 2. Now he didn't send that one as wide as he had the previous shot on the right lane. So I don't think he can chalk that up to the left lane not hooking as much, because he didn't throw it in the same area of the lane. But he covers the spare. And now, Colton Boob, not only has he won those 3 KCOs, but he also has a Y-John tournament in his back pocket as he crosses over to get another strike. For those of you outside the Kansas City area, the Y-John refers to the USBC Association on the Kansas side for Wyandotte and Johnson counties. Johnson County is where, well, it's where I live, where south suburban Kansas City, Overland Park, Olathe, that area is. Wyandotte County is just north of that. Oh my goodness. Well now. So that strike that he got in the 3rd frame to increase his lead by 10, he just handed those 10 pins right back to Nick by tossing that ball in the gutter. He loses 10 pins in count, but I think we know how to make this spare, put that ball right in the pocket. He's done it enough times so far today. We know he's capable. And that's how it's done. No problemo. Take another look at that one, and I think I can show you something about Colton's game. See his spine angle? It's almost parallel to the floor. He's so far forward, and his trail leg is way up in the air. As a result, he's going to fall off balance to the right. He does this on almost every shot. If he'll keep his spine angle a little more upright and keep that trail leg down on the floor, he'll finish in balance. When you lose your balance like that, you also lose leverage. And although he has plenty of power, he would have more with more leverage. Nick, through the nose, leaves the 4, 6, 7. And what's happening here, the pin setter has just swept it away. No, you don't get a mulligan. Sorry. Well, while we wait for them to reset the 4, 6, 7, here's a surprise announcement. Starting this season on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, every KCO champion in every division at every points tournament and every adult youth doubles tournament will receive an invitation to bowl in the 2024 Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions. Last year you had to bowl and win on Prodigy on one of the featured divisions, but this year we're opening up the Tournament of Champions to all the KCO winners in all the divisions, whether or not your division was one of the featured ones. We figure, you know, you may not be one of the featured divisions, but you won on Prodigy. You may have won in the periphery to our left and to our right, but you still won on Prodigy, so you deserve an opportunity to bowl in the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions. So this year you will. And that goes for the winners in all the divisions in September. We didn't mention this last month, but had a little executive meeting and decided to do this. The Prodigy Tournament of Champions is going to be the Sunday after Father's Day in June of 2024, so you can mark your calendar as soon as you win a KCO. All right. They have reset the 4, 6, 7. Boy, this is frustrating for a player. Nick probably knows he's likely not going to convert this, and he had to wait to shoot it. Like calling timeout to freeze a kicker at the end of a football game. Nick whiffs the whole thing, 7 out, and now he's just throwing pins away. So the scoring differential now, 29 pins. Nick Robbins digging himself a hole. And look at that. That should have been a strike. And Nick is shaking his head. He knows it. Yeah. He said, I've had that shot all day. Well, again, an easy spare. But not one you can go to sleep on. That's an unforced error there, and may have been born out of just pure frustration. But I tell you what, you got to keep your wits about you in this sport. You can't let your frustration get the best of you and start making silly mistakes like that. Colton crosses over, leaves an easy spare, just the 5-pin. Just throw your strike ball at this. He's going with his spare ball. And it's a good thing he did, because he pulled it. If he'd thrown his strike ball, he would have hooked past that 5-pin and missed it. But as it is, he maintains that 39-pin lead. We are halfway through the championship match, and Colton Boob is in the driver's seat. Goes through the nose that time and leaves a little work for himself. The 310 baby split. Here's how to make it. Put the ball on the right side of the 3-pin. The ball will deflect over into the 10. He's doing it right from the left side of the lane. And he throws a straight ball at it too. That's even better. Covers it. Well done. This is how you draw it up. Throw a straight ball from the left side of the lane into the 3-pin and watch that ball deflect over into the 10. Textbook. All right, Nick, it's time to go to the whip. But instead, the ball cuts sharply through the center of the rack. Could have been worse. It leaves the 3-6-10. Put the ball right there on the 3 and 6, and you'll be golden. And just like the 310, I recommend shooting this from the left side of the lane to cut down on the chop possibilities. Nick goes down the right side of the lane and pulls it left of where he wanted to throw it, and that's 3 opens in a row, and he's in trouble now. He bowled so well to get to the top as the tournament leader. You hate to see somebody bowl that well all day just to come out and lay an egg in the championship match. But it happens. Whew. Nearly had another split. 6 goes late. All right, if Nick makes this, and I was expecting he would, he can shoot 192. All right, there you go. Colton is going at a 210 pace, but you never know. If the lane's breaking down the way they have, transition could get him. He might leave a split of his own. Ten pin. Colton's job at this point is just stay clean the rest of the way. He's got this match in hand if he can just stay clean. Goes straight at the 10 pin. That's well done. Tell you what, this kid, we haven't seen him for very long. He just kind of burst on the scene at the KCO and started winning almost immediately. He doesn't bowl in our Saturday league in Olathe. He bowls in one of the weekday leagues. Another 10 pin. But my word, he just keeps knocking on the door to win another one. He's close to winning another one now. And there is another spare. And with each one of those, he inches closer to claiming his 4th KCO title. And for Nick to have any chance at all of winning, he's got to take it off the sheet. Moved well left. There you go. You see that? He moved in front of the ball return and took just 3 steps. The only other time I've ever seen that on Prodigy Bowlers Tour was in our Tournament of Champions back in 2018, I believe it was. Peyton Smith did that en route to winning. And he doesn't have to, you see his normal approach, he starts there at the back of the approach. And this time it sails, doesn't get up to the head pin, and well, it's just about curtains now. He leaves what I like to call the naked washout, the 110. No 2-pin, no 4-pin, no 8-pin, just the 110. That's what I call the naked washout. And another open frame, and Colton Boob leads by 60, and all he's got to do is keep the ball on the lane and stay behind the foul line, and it'll be KCO title number 4. All he does is win. Colton Boob is the Division III champion at the KCO October Points Tournament. He did it again. He makes it look surprisingly easy. Covers the 4-pin, no problem. Well, this is the first time we've had Colton on the show, other than in the periphery. And now I see what all the hubbub has been about. This guy just keeps putting the pressure on. Well, throughout our broadcast today, you saw action to our left on lanes 19 and 20. That was Division 4. As Colton gets a field goal here in the 10th frame. And to our right, you saw action on lanes 23 and 24. That was Division 5. And after we talk to our winner today, we will recap how those step ladders for Divisions 4 and 5 played out. And you'll learn the names of those 2 contestants in those 2 divisions. Will be invited to the Prodigy TOC in June. Well, Nick just couldn't quite put it together here in the championship match. He bowled great all day to get into the tournament leader spot, but it just wasn't there for him here in the step ladder finals. And that happens sometimes. So it's another open and a disappointing 137 for Nick Robbins. Colton Boob, you are a champion again at the Kansas City Open, and for the first time on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. As Brent Whitesell congratulates Nick Robbins, and we're going to congratulate Colton Boob and get him to sign the coveted trophy pin when we return. This looked like it might be a match until Nick suffered 3 open frames in succession in the middle of the match, while Colton stayed clean until the match was put away. 5 open frames in all for Nick, and he knows that's no way to bring home the gold. But he keeps knocking on the door, and I know we'll see him again. But with this win today, Colton Boob secures his spot in the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions next summer and establishes himself as a player to beat at the KCO, as if he wasn't already. He visited the winner's circle 3 times last season, but never on Prodigy, so this is the first time you'll get to meet him.
It's the finals at the October KCO in Gladstone, and our winner in Division 3 is none other than Colton Boob, or as I may start calling him, Colton Boom. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you do it?
I just kept it clean through mainly the whole game. Spares are what kept me alive.
Yeah, well, spares will do that. Congratulations. So you had a really good day all day today, just to get into the top 5. You had a great morning block, and then you kind of hung on in the afternoon block. Then you put on a charge in the stepladder finals, and you got it done. So congratulations. This is a kid that won on the KCO 3 times last year, and now you've already got your first one of the new season. That is something special. Way to go.
Thank you. This is
So here's the thing that you get to do on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. You get to sign the coveted trophy pin, and it signals that you are eligible for the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions at the end of the season, which will be held at your home bowling center, Olathe Lanes East, in June, the Sunday after Father's Day. So you'll get an email about that. But in the meantime, pick out a pen, sign your name and today's date to that pin. Way to go.
Thank you.
Today is 10-1. 10-1-23. Going with the turquoise. Colton Boob, your winner in Division 3 at the KCO October Points Tournament. Let's hear it for Colton Boob. Way to go.
As we mentioned during the show, the bowlers to our left on lanes 19 and 20 were the finalists in Division 4. Here's how their stepladder played out. In the opening match, Gage Wilkins, you met him on our September show last year, defeated the 4-seed Cortland Worrell, who will be defending next month in Lawrence. The final of that match, 186-169. Then in match 2, Gage continued his winning ways, defeating the 3-seed Isabel Young, who you met on our April show last spring in Leavenworth. Gage prevailed here 198-141. But then Tristan Perrette stopped Gage's march to the top, 210-199. And in the championship match, the tournament leader, Caden Darling-Near, defeated Tristan Perrette 190-155 to take top honors. So congratulations to Caden Darling-Near. Then, as we mentioned earlier on the show, the kids bowling to our right today on lanes 23 and 24, that was the Division 5 group. And here's how their stepladder finals played out. In the opening match, Brianna Wanina, who you met last month in Olathe, defeated Riley Richardson 157-147. But then in match 2, it was Lillian Fuhr, who you saw on Prodigy a couple of times last season. She defeated Brianna Wanina by the narrowest of margins, 150-149. Lily kept climbing the stepladder when she defeated the 2-seed Grady Groom 212-143, putting Lily in the championship match. But in the end, it was tournament leader Michael Van Sel who prevailed, 202 to 129, to take the crown. So congratulations to Michael Van Sel for winning the Division 5 KCO title. There is one other bit of news for all KCO bowlers. We recently firmed up the date for the 2024 Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, and it'll be Sunday, June 23rd at Olathe Lanes East. That's the Sunday right after Father's Day. And starting this season, all the winners on the KCO, whether you win your division on the featured pair or not, if you win a monthly title at the KCO, you'll be eligible to bowl in the Prodigy TOC in June. So for instance, today's winners in Divisions 4 and 5, Caden Darling-Neer and Michael Van Sel, you guys are in. We'll be in touch. On the next edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, you'll see the Division 1 stepladder finals from the KCO October Points Tournament. And let me tell you, when you sit down to watch that show, episode 153, you'll want to get your popcorn ready. If you'd be interested in entering a future Kansas City Open tournament, visit their website to get all the details you need at www.kansascityopen.com. If you like what we do here on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, leave a thumbs up on the video, smash that subscribe button, and drop a comment down below. All those things help us grow the channel. And if you'd like to support the work that goes into producing Prodigy Bowlers Tour, and about 35 to 40 hours go into the editing of each and every episode of the show, become a Prodigy patron. For just $5 a month, you'll get early access to all our full-length episodes, and for just $10 a month, you'll get early access and you'll get your name in the closing credits as an executive producer. You know, like they do in Hollywood. To keep up with all things Prodigy, join our Facebook group. From any page on Facebook, type Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit enter. You'll be taken to a page where you can submit a request to join the group. Just remember to answer the screening questions, or we'll assume you're a spam bot and your request will be declined. So that's it for this edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Remember to be on the lookout for our next episode when you'll see the unbelievable action in Division 1 at this same October Points Tournament. So, from Gladstone Bowl in Gladstone, Missouri, this is Coach Randy reminding you to stay behind the foul line, keep kicking out those corner pins, and we'll see you on the next edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Now, go get your bowl on.